Welcome to Kcse English. This is a brand new season. Welcome to this season in which we will examine and analyze the new Kcse literature set texts. We will endeavor, as usual, to bring to you incisive, deep, and reliable analysis of these textbooks to enable you enjoy studying literature. Today, we start our study of the new texts by focusing on the new set text entitled Fathers of Nations by Paul B. Vitta and published by Oxford University Press. This novel will replace Henry Olekulet's Blossoms of the Savannah. This is the top cover of Fathers of Nations that students are expected to start studying. In this first installment, we will focus on the setting of this novel in order to lay the background to the analysis of the novel in subsequent videos. Why are we starting by looking at setting of the novel? Setting in literature refers to the location and time frame in which the action of a narrative takes place. In other words, setting is the context in which a story occurs and includes the time, place, and social environment. It is important to establish the setting of this story so that we can properly visualize and experience it in its context. Now, Fathers of Nations is a satirical novel and is set in contemporary Africa. It is a story that brings to us, albeit in a satirical way, all that has gone wrong in Africa. In this novel, Africa is depicted as a susceptible continent that lacks a sense of direction. It is a continent where the leaders have made majority of the people voiceless. They are mere spectators as their leaders continuously destroy their livelihoods. The leaders have no meaningful development agenda. The cycle of endless squabbles make the leaders of Africa look naive and, to say the least, unreasonable. The picture we get of African leaders from the novel is that of a coalition of confused and manipulated people experimenting with various ideological positions originating from elsewhere. Paul Vitta, the author of this novel, focuses on two ideological standpoints advocated by rival groups. One group has come up with a development agenda which is referred to as Path Alpha. The other group has come up with yet another ideological position called Way Omega. This novel therefore deals with dysfunctional post-colonial states of Africa, buying into anything from anywhere. It depicts the horrors that continue to plague the people of Africa. Unfortunately, in their hopelessness, the people continue to entertain a leadership that is blind to their plight. The novel paints a devastating picture of Africa indeed. It is a picture of millions of people on the knife's edge of daily survival. Some countries are beset by war and organized criminal networks that control all the political power and economic opportunities. International imperialistic networks of control have captured the continent and imprisoned it, so to speak. African countries are easily sucked into meaningless engagements with international financial institutions that impoverish them even further. The tragic events that happen on the continent bear witness to a deep-seated leadership crisis. Many African leaders are shown as flawed human beings who lack the wherewithal to rise to the challenges of our times. The novel shows that corruption is endemic in Africa. It is pervasive and has disastrous consequences to African economies, the cohesion of our communities, and the social contract on which nations should be built. The author asserts that what we have in Africa are not nations, but states. And he goes ahead to make the distinction between states and nations. We will continue to dig into these definitions later. This book serves as a reminder to African peoples that as long as we do not evolve visionary leadership, the continent will remain backward forever. From the crisis in Zimbabwe, to the Nigerian ethnic divide, to the tragedy of the Democratic Republic of Congo, the book satirically reveals the true tragedy of Africa. It also problematizes the manipulation of Africa by world financial institutions. By so doing, the novel shows how Africa has progressively sunk into the abyss of poverty. We therefore have to understand that the novel is set in this depressing context. It is a bold portrayal of the post-colonial African states. This is a continent in which the most learned people are impoverished and made beggars. This is a society that does not value knowledge but cherishes ignorance. As we come to the end of this video, certain things must be mentioned. Some of the main issues that the book depicts include the excruciating poverty, the endemic corruption and nepotism, the visionless leadership, and the betrayal of the people of Africa by their leaders. In a nutshell, the novel also reflects on the concept of the failed state and its attendant characteristics. From this background, we shall proceed to examine the novel more deeply in subsequent videos. We encourage you to tune in again and again as we systematically analyze the novel for you. On that note, we come to the end of today's installment, in which we looked at the setting of this novel, Fathers of nations. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. On behalf of my crew, Neka and Pambi, I would like to say bye for now.